Mark. How you doing?
Hello.
Hey. All right, Mark. It is 10:02. Do you want me to do a roll call and then we can get going?
Yep, that's fine.
All right, hey everybody. I am Melissa Shepard with JMT. How are y'all? All right, I'll just go down the list. Captain Heather Glennie. All right, we know she's on. I'm probably going to butcher this name, Mike Shad. Shade.
Good morning, it's Mike Shade. I'm here for Terry Nagel with St. Pete.
All right, and then Jonathan Coots.
Hi, good morning. Jonathan Coons with Pinellas County's Transportation Department.
Thank you. Autumn Westerman. All right, we know she's on. George Edmondson.
Good morning, George Edmiston with Benish.
Thank you. Sandra Noble.
Sandra Noble, Crash Data, Forward Pinellas.
Thank you. Janice Martinez.
Good morning. Happy New Year, everyone. Janice Martinez, Law Enforcement Liaison for DOT, District 7.
Thank you. And Joseph Camara.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Joe Camara from Pinellas County Schools.
Thank you. Mashid.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Mashid Oreste, American Quality Consultants, FDOT Safety Ambassador.
Thank you. Lori.
Good morning. My name is Lori Paleo and I work for JMT.
All right. Brandy Howard.
Good morning, everyone. Brandy Howard, Suncoast Safety Council Executive.
Thank you. Michelle Snow.
Good morning. Michelle Snow from Signal 4 Analytics UF.
All right. Mike Frederick.
Good morning. City of St. Petersburg Transportation Department.
Thanks, Mike. Amy.
Good morning. Amy Elmore with Forward Pinellas Communications Manager.
Thank you. Jennifer Hall. We know Jennifer's on. Mark Easty.
Sergeant Mark Easty, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office DUI Unit.
Thank you. Dan.
Sergeant Dan Negersmith with City of Clearwater Police Department Traffic Enforcement Team.
Thank you. Scott Friedman.
Scott Friedman, good morning all. Resident, Pinellas County.
Peter Shue. However, we know Peter is on the line. Mike Zen.
Mike Zen, Department of Transportation, CTST Program Manager.
Thank you. And just a couple things. The meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your phone. All right. Thanks so much. And do we have anyone else on the line who I did not call out your name? Okay. It's all you, Mark. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone. We'll go through, it's really small on my screen. Approval December 2021 minutes. Get someone to approve that and then second it.
Mike Frederick, I'll approve.
Oh, sorry, this is Brandy. Before approval, I did read the minutes because I was absent the last meeting, but it said that I was in attendance. So that's just a correction that needs to be made.
Yeah, that's right, because you were with me at in Orlando.
I was.
Okay, I'll make that correction. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you.
Anyone want to second the approval from Mike?
This is George. I'll second that.
All right, thank you, everyone. All right, next thing we'll get into is the committee reports. We'll start with enforcement. We'll start with Captain Glennie from FHP. Do you guys have anything from either last month or upcoming? All right, we'll get back with her. All right, Clearwater PD, Sergeant Ingersmith. Do you guys have anything from prior month or?
Nothing really to report, no.
It looks like that's it as far as agency. As far as Pinellas County is concerned, we conducted a wolf pack. I believe it was December 18th, which was a Saturday night into Sunday morning. I think all the agencies that showed up, it was very successful. We got numerous impaired drivers off the street that night. Didn't have any issues, thankfully. We don't really have anything coming up for this month as far as traffic is concerned. Actually, I'm sorry. We're doing a motorcycle enforcement detail next week on the 12th to basically target the speed and aggressive driving of motorcycles. And then on the 26th, we're going to be targeting the Bayside Bridge for, again, speed and aggressive driving. I'll be up in the helicopter doing speed enforcement up there. And that's it for Pinellas County Sheriff's Office as far as enforcement. Anybody else from enforcement that wants to input anything? All right. Next, we'll move on to engineering. Mike with St. Pete, do you have anything from last month or this month?
No, nothing new happening around here. Thank everybody for coming out last month to our meeting at the PD headquarters. Hope they enjoyed the tour. We'll keep working on speeding and trying to solve fatalities here.
Thank you, Mike. George, you have anything?
Actually, I did want to ask those who are in attendance here. I know Shady's here with St. Pete and Clearwater and FHP. So I had a discussion with Peter earlier. TPD is experiencing a bunch of issues regarding speeding citations, going to court with withhold of adjudication, minimum fines due to attorney represented. I'm sure it's the ticket clinic. And we're looking at the options of exploring how Georgia's doing things a little bit different. But are you guys still experiencing the same issues? A lot of plea deals through ticket clinics or private attorneys regarding those speeding citations?
Yeah, I mean, anything 10, 15, or 20 over. Go ahead, Dan.
Basically, we've had a lot of problems with the judges taking things under advisement and then dismissing this ticket, or we're seeing different things like that in the court itself. So there's some things going on that we don't fully understand what's happening at this point.
Yeah, I've noticed the same couple of things. Especially people, that they'll look at their driving record and they have a bunch of prior withholds and then they still give them a withhold. The one thing I can say is the super egregious speeds, some of the stuff I've been in traffic court for, especially for the Bayside enforcement, where they're doing 100 plus and a 55. It's almost hard for them to try to give these people the breaks that they're giving them for the 10 and the 15 over. And you're right, it's mostly ticket clinic. It's, they go in there, hey, how was his attitude? Do you mind to withhold? And, if it's a first time offense, I don't see an issue with it. But the problem, and like Dan said, is you have somebody, you have these magistrates who will take it under advisement with someone that's had 2 or 3 previous citations with adjudication withheld. And then they either dismiss it for whatever reason, or they withhold adjudication again. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, some things have never changed. Janice, on a statewide level, any of your LELs reporting the same thing? I'm sure this discussion has been had before.
It's a 20-year plus issue that we've had. I mean, this is just a constant thing. You hire an attorney, you expect things to happen. It's full circle. The only time it's ever really gotten a little bit better, we used to have a Pinellas County judge on our motorcycle safety coalition, and he's no longer on there. But when we have magistrates or judges that sit in our coalitions or our CTST meetings, they actually feed the information back to their judicial circle. And then that seems to get a little better for a little while, but we haven't had much of a judicial input into our meetings in a while.
Okay, well, I think, Janice, you and I can maybe have a discussion a little further on this because I want to explore some other options. But I know it's been happening for a while, and it's happening probably statewide, and we'll look at some other options, what other states are doing as well. But yeah, maybe the start would be getting somebody on the judicial side of it involved in our CTST. And is it just judges, or is it also some of the magistrates that are doing this, or both?
I've always
mostly the magistrates.
Yeah, I think the magistrates are a little worse.
Okay, well, thank you for everybody's feedback, and we'll have further discussions on this later on. That's it for me, Mark.
All right. Anyone else from engineering? All right. Anyone from bike or pedestrian safety? All right. Education, Brandy, do you have anything?
I don't have anything to share this morning.
All right. Janice, you have anything?
I do a couple things. So thank you to all of our law enforcement agencies for participating. Drive Sober, Get Pulled Over. We are collecting data now for that. That's we only collect data twice a year for DUI waves. We do the Labor Day wave, and then we do the holiday wave. And we collect data for the totality of the state, and then we report it to Washington as what we're doing as a state. So we are currently in the process of doing that right now. It just ended on New Year's Day. So we'll have till the end of the month to collect the data on that to report to Washington. The new highway safety matrix just came out on Monday, and I'm going to post that link in the comments right now so everybody can see where we're at. Congratulations to Clearwater. Didn't make any of the top 25 for Pinellas County. Yay! So good on that. A couple other agencies need a little bit of help, but I'm here to help. So concept paper writing season is going on right now. I could definitely help with some grants, and that is what my next 2 months will be dedicated to. So if anybody has any questions about that, I am here to help. And that's it. That's all I got on that one.
All right. Thank you, Janice. Anybody else have anything? All right, I guess we'll move on to old business, the problem location map. And this is for the year of 2021, and from not a good year, obviously, for Pinellas County. Looks like we ended at, as of right now, 149. I don't know if any delayed fatals are going to come in. Sandra, do you have anything that you may know of any delays that might come in, or are we going to stay fast at 149?
We did not get the like the dump for December crash reports coming in from Tim to Oliver yet, so I'm anticipating that some more are going to come in on this. And yes, we usually wait about 30 days for the delays to come in. But this is a pretty, I've been talking to a lot of law enforcement agencies to adjust, your crash reports and finding things. So hopefully it won't go up too much more. The only thing I wanted to say, I mean, it's hard to say right now, but the last 5 years from today back 5 years, there's an average of 117 fatals over a 5-year period when you average them out, because you have good years and bad years. So we're at 117 right now, but if I take from 2016 to 2020, the previous 5 years, it's at 109. So you can see that the 5-year average has gone up, even though this one was really bad.
Yeah, and from the looks of it, pedestrians have taken,
yes.
I think that's been the most in a long time.
And I did want to say one thing about you had mentioned the bike and ped safety. Based on all this that's going on, I know that Chelsea Favreau and Angela is putting together a bike, I believe, like a grant to get some bike and ped safety projects going. So I might have more news on that in the future, but.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing, though, I would probably say a good 80 or even probably a higher percentage of at least our ped fatals are not so much vehicle at fault, it's ped at fault. You have a lot of these transients that are impaired that cross mid-block. We had one who was walking down the middle of the curb lane on 113th Street, severely impaired, and he gets hit by a person who was drinking in a car, but to their somewhat defense, they tried to swerve out of the way because he was in a dark part of the roadway there, walking down the middle of the road. So I think as far as, and I know we've had a couple in the crosswalk that are vehicle at fault. So, I don't know how much more lighting you can put up in a crosswalk, to notify drivers they need to stop. But, we'll just keep, probably hit it up on the enforcement side of it and throw some education out there as well.
Well, and with the education, Amy with our communications department is also online in the meeting. She had taken that picture last month for the CTST and does some blogs. So we're hoping to get some education or some blogs out there that might help people. So, I mean, there's lots of things that we're going to try to improve.
Yeah, and we have our speed and aggressive driving and grant. We have our HV grant, so we're still going to be out there, educating people as far as how to safely cross. I mean, I see it every day, and I stop, and like I said, I'm like, are you crazy? What are you doing? And they're like, well, the crosswalk's way up there. I'm like, well, if your life depended on it, would you walk over there? Well, yeah. Okay, well, why don't you just go do it? So, yeah. Well, we'll try our best. Anyone have any questions about the map?
Peter added
All
items in the chat. He says, Pinellas County pedestrian, bicycle, and motorcycle fatalities, 68 or 66.89% of the total fatalities in 2021 in Pinellas County. State of Florida, 41.89% of the vulnerable users is accounted of the total traffic fatalities in 2021. And then District 7, ped bike, ped bike, motorcycle fatalities, 282, which is 50.17% of the total fatalities in 2021 in District 7. FDOT District 7 Safety Office will aggressively work with Pinellas County Engineering, Enforcement, and Education agencies in 2022 to slow down this increased vulnerable user trend. And he also says, please bug Mike Zinn for the safety team work that you may need. And this data is the latest statewide data from January 4th.
Just to, I just added up our the bike, ped, and motorcycle, you know, for our this year, the 60-16 divided out comes to like 70% is vulnerable users, which is quite high. So it's a little higher than what Peter had, unfortunately.
Yeah, so hopefully 2022 will be a little bit better. I know I looked at some of those some of the years past, and we've had a couple of years where we were under 100, and you know I know Florida, you know, has their Vision Zero, which that would be super awesome for the entire state to have 0 fatalities. But if at least if we can start by being under 100, that would be great. All right. Anything else about the map? All right. Machine, do you have anything for HSIP?
Good morning. Yeah, overall, I'm working with Bill Reha on some material requests. There was a request from Pinellas County. We're all excited to hear more from Peter on the new applications or the new process, Peter and Mike. We had a goal of 500 to implement 500 LPIs, leading pedestrian indicators, in 500 intersections. And we met that, and we exceeded it by I think 40 locations. So I wanted to thank Pinellas County, especially because they did their work with their own staff, and also City of St. Pete and Mike and Kevin Jackson and Steve Yateman and Norm Jester for everything that they did to help us out. So I'm looking forward to new applications in this new year, and if there's anything I can help with, please let me know. And that's it.
Thank you, Machine. Anybody else have anything to add to that? All right, we're gonna hit. Actually, we did the fatal map first. So yeah, we can just do the problem locations. I know Howie and Howie's not on because we're all at Tarpon Springs for this Epiphany detail. So let's hit this next month because I know he's on most of it and he's busy right now. So does anybody have any questions or anything to add on that? That may have any knowledge on these locations? All right.
Mark, one of the locations up there in Tarpon Springs, I'm mobile right now, so I can't read what it says, but it was
Lime Street.
It was
Yeah, you're breaking up, Mike.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, he might have got cutting off. He was on the phone. Give him a minute.
I wanted to bring something up about I didn't talk about on the fatal map. On the back of the map, or well, the listings, if you see any yellow question marks or anything like that on the bottom, some of those I'm already discussing with FHP, but like these ones that are like in November and December, I haven't received the CDMS reports yet. So, but if you know of anything that has like a PED delayed with a question mark, or if it's a fatal and we have it marked as a medical, if you have anything to add to any of these, just have one of the law enforcement agent people call me or whatever, and so I can get these. I mean, most of them will come out, so it's not a problem. But
yeah, I saw the couple for Pinellas, and I'm going to work on those. So
Yeah, I know there's a couple, and because they're like a medical, and we have them added in there as, so I just try to keep that this list as tight as possible. And I appreciate the law enforcement agencies, FHP, St. Pete. They're really good at, fixing them and resubmitting them so that we can get CDMS, well, all the data that comes out of DHS&V, we can get it looking pretty good for at least the fatals. Thank you.
Doesn't look like Mike came back on. So, all right. Well, like I said, we'll hit this up next month. High crash intersections, that was on the fatal map. At least the law enforcement agencies know where to hit, and I know with our grants that those are the areas that we hit. So, all right. So, Mike's in left. So, all right. Does anybody have anything else to add before we leave?
Did you guys want to talk about the trail map at all?
Yeah, Sandra, do you want to go over that?
Sure. I just received this from Angela. It is the November and end of the year. There's 3 sheets. It just talks about the, the trail usage and stuff like that. There will be another, a final report coming out for December, and then from January to December. So if anyone has any questions, this does come from Angela Ryan in her office. She does a really great job at putting this together for you all. And I believe Amy's on the line. I'm not sure if she wants to speak about something.
Yeah, she's on the line. Go ahead.
Great. Yeah, can everybody hear me okay? Excellent. So, hi, I'm Amy Elmore. I'm with Forward Pinellas. I'm the communications manager. And I first just want to say thank you to everyone so much for those great pictures last month of your meeting. We got some really good traction on social media with your pictures. People really enjoy seeing all the great work that you're doing because I think that safety is important to everybody, whether it's moms, college students, firefighters. We all care about safety, and this is just something that's really strikes everybody to the heart. So I really wanted to see and have a discussion with everyone on how we can kind of spread the word about the great work that everybody is doing. The speed enforcement efforts that you guys talked about earlier, that to me, I don't know, maybe I'm just a geek, but that sounded so cool what you guys are doing. And I thought, oh my gosh, does anybody know that you're doing that? Are you pushing that out on social media? And I know that the FDOT District 7 does some work where they, highlight different members of the community sometimes. So I just thought, how cool would it be to help this team kind of push out some of that messaging? And I wanted to see what I could do, what you thought would be appropriate, and get your thoughts on that. And specifically, I know we have School Crossing Guard Appreciation Day coming up in February. I don't know if anybody has thought about doing something for that, or if there's some efforts already going on that Forward Pinellas could support, or if that's something that Forward Pinellas could lead ourselves. So I just kind of wanted to start a conversation and see if I could get some folks who might be interested in spreading the word of safety and the work this team is doing.
So I'll chime in for a second. So we have a conference coming up, a Region 4 conference. So the National Highway Traffic Safety Region 4 is Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And Florida is hosting the conference in February. And we've actually invited Sergeant Easty to come as our one of our District 7 champions. So he will be in the room, and we're going to have some roundtable conversations. And one of our roundtable conversations we're doing there is what homegrown safety campaigns are you doing? And this was a way for us to highlight what we are doing as a state, but then also to listen to the other 4 states in our region and what they are doing. And maybe we could incorporate some of the things that they're doing that are fantastic ideas that may work for us. And then in turn, share some of the things that we are doing locally with our other states.
That's fantastic, Janice. I really like that idea. I'd be happy to help push out information about that conference if you feel like that's appropriate. I'd also be interested to know what we're doing, because I'm not quite sure some of the safety campaigns that we're doing, the homegrown safety campaigns that we're doing. So I'd be interested to hear more about those and see how Forward Pinellas could support that.
Right. And it's just, there's so many things, like, Orlando does Best Foot Forward. We have Forward Pinellas. There's just so many things in this as a state that we do. And then as a region, there's always so much more. So it's a chance for us, again, to brag about the things that we are doing in our area, but then also to grab some good ideas. So hopefully between Mark and I being in the room, we'll be able to come back with some fantastic ideas after February.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. I see Mike Zinn keeps coming on and off, so but he left. Anybody else have anything?
Here, Joe. Just asking primarily.
Steph, you're cutting in and out.
Howie was a little uneasy about issuing stop-on violation tickets to the motorists that were going by my buses. So I got with my director, and what we did, we initiated a program where we're going to have all our FOS drivers, the supervisors, take our drivers out and evaluate them. Plus, we're doing video tutorials, and we're going to have sessions where we're going to bring in a bunch of drivers and show them what they need to do and how it be done. So hopefully it'll help the situation a little bit, make life a little bit safer for everybody else out on the road.
Yeah, I know his one issue is the warning lights, because a lot of them weren't putting them on, at the required distance they needed to prior to the bus stopping, which, because he's got video. So if somebody were to take it to court and the judge sees that, then it's obviously going to get overturned. So sounds like a good plan to, make sure the bus driver's doing what they need to do so that we can enforce properly. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you, Judge.
All right, thanks.
All right. Anybody else? All righty. Our next meeting will be held in February. It will be virtual again. It looks like February 3rd. And I'm going to try to attend that. Oh, yeah, no, actually, I will be in attendance for that. I'll be with Janice next week for that NHTSA Region 4 conference. So I will see you guys all next week. Thank you for attending and have a great day.
Thank you all.
Hi, same to you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.